This is one of them permagrin type of places where you just can't stop smiling. Alright, good morning guys. My name is Frank, this is Alyssa, and we are the GlobeHoppers. If you've been following our channel, you know we are currently on a mission to get to 100 countries, and this is number 34, Athens, Greece. If you saw yesterday's video, you will know that we have not fallen in love with the city of Athens. Greece, yes, we've had a great time traveling around Greece, but when we got to Athens 4 days ago, oh, we just have not enjoyed the vibe yet. But today's a new day, we're going to give it a new try, and we also decided to do something we haven't done in a lot of years, which is check out this hop-on, hop-off bus situation. We figure that's probably the best way to get back on the tourist trail and maybe see some happier sights than what we've seen over the last few days. So today we are waiting for the bus. We're right now at a church which is right outside our hotel, a couple of blocks away, and the hop-on, hop-off bus is supposed to be coming to get us in a few minutes. We bought the 2-day pass with 2 different rails, so we're going to do the city today, and then we're going to head down to the marina area tomorrow. And I think next is probably the Acropolis, but we haven't gotten a map yet. The bus driver will give us to when we get on. Alright, so while we wait for the bus, we'll give you a little rundown. There are 5 different packages you could buy. You could buy your tickets online or at one of the bus stations. So we got a digital voucher, I guess it is. We did it online. And we paid for the second tier up, which is a 2-day, 2-line package. So today we're going to do the city area. And then we have another day tomorrow where we can take the other line and go down and do the marina area. So today is going to be all history. A lot of archaeological sites, the Acropolis, things like that. And it was, for us, for the 2 days, it was $25. The most expensive Supreme package is $30, and the cheapest one was $20. So whatever your budget, whatever you feel like doing, depending on how much of this heat you can handle too. It's gonna get pretty hot, and I think that's why we went for the 2-day package, so we could break it up over both days. When we get too hot, we'll run back to the hotel. So the bus should be coming soon.
The bus, it runs from 8:30 to 7, right?
Yeah, I think it runs till 7 tonight, so
Yeah.
we'll be home long before that, I hope, in the swimming pool. Let's see where it is. Alright guys, we have arrived at our first stop, but it's actually the 3rd stop. This stop here is Hadrian's Gate, and it's actually rebuilt. The original one was destroyed in an earthquake, and then they built this one. And it is our 3rd stop, like I said, because the first 2 stops were at town squares, and the first one was just filled with pigeons and nothing else. Literally no people, no nothing, so we didn't get off there. The second one was just a shopping district, so we decided we didn't need to really go shopping, so we didn't get off at that one. And this was the 3rd stop that the bus was at, the Hadrian Square. And then you can see on the other side behind us here, we've got some more pillars and ruins, and we're gonna see if we can get in there and take a little stroll around and see those. But a little heads up, it is so hot today. We are just melting away, and it's just barely noon now, so we don't know.
We know, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine once we get used to the heat, yeah.
I think it's 94, 91.
So right now we're just hiding in the shade. There goes one of the buses.
Bye-bye.
And you can see the Acropolis up there in the background. So I'm trying to decide if the bus deal is actually worth it or not. The bus drives you around with an audio tour, and they'll tell you things like, we're passing a church, we're passing a parliament. But you have to get off the bus and then go walk back to those places if you actually want to see them. So you're going to spend just as much time walking as you are if you don't take the bus. The only difference is the bus gets stuck in all this Athens traffic. So I'm not really sure yet if you're winning out or losing. I think the better idea might have been to rent a scooter for the day and then just get a nice cool breeze on a scooter while you drove around and checked out the sites that you find interesting. Because a lot of them, like the Parliament building, I really don't want to go see where today's government's being held. So something to think about. If you're a scooter driver, that might be better for you. Avoid some of the traffic and sitting in buses and going to see things that you're really not interested in. But we'll let you know at the end of the day overall what we decide. Right now we are at, let's see what this one is. Alright guys, behind us is the archaeological site of Olympian, and most of it's under reconstruction, as you can see. from all those towers back there. A few of the columns are actually on their side laid down like the earthquake hit and knocked them down. But if you want to, you can go in there and walk around and blaze in the heat for a while. Good luck with that. We are gonna go save our energy for the bigger, more exciting ones up there on the hill. So I think we're gonna look for the next bus going by and hop on, hop off. Alright guys, so we just got in and we paid the $30 each instead of the 20 because for 30 each we get a package deal which is good for 5 days and it's good for entrance to many of the sites around Athens, like the big arena we wanted to go to and the Pantheon and Acropolis and the museums. So we just went ahead and bought the package and we are at the Acropolis. Look up there. One good thing you could tell is tourism's definitely picking back up around the world. We haven't seen crowds like this in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So far on the way up here, everything we've seen has been fenced off and looks like it was under construction and then the construction stopped when the economic climate here changed, I guess you could say. I don't know if any of it's still being worked on, but I haven't seen anything being worked on. It just seems like it's all fenced off now.
This looks like they're setting up for a symphony or something.
Yeah, this is the closest one that we found. It looks like it's actually being used for something. There's no labels anywhere really, nothing's labeled. A few plaques, but they're very vague. They don't really explain much. So aside of all the construction, it is absolutely amazing that this stuff is still intact up here. I mean, when you see how high up we are and how many earthquakes they've had, quite impressive. We just came down from the Acropolis and at the base there's the Roman Agora, which is where we are now, built in 11 BC. Not much left of it, but there are some rumbles and ruins we can go check out for you. The sun is going behind some clouds, so it's getting much more tolerable. I think we were starting to melt up there. She has a bottle of water, and she went to pour a little on my head and burn me, so it's ridiculous out here. What did you say it was, in the 90s?
Oh, it was 91 when we started. It's 92 now, but it's cloudy. It says on my watch.
Yeah,
it is.
It says it's 90 something degrees out here, 92, 93, but the sun is just blazing. This is by far the hottest day we've had on this trip in the last month or so. It's just deadly today. So this Roman Agora at the bottom of the Acropolis complex here is a lot of ruins and rumble, but this here behind me is the Tower of Winds, and that seems to be in the best condition of everything on these grounds here. Ready to go find our bus? Alright, so I think we're done with the Acropolis complex. We're gonna head down to the street and cool off for a minute. I don't know, we've been to a lot of these ruins over the last couple of years between Egypt and Turkey and here, and I wouldn't rank these amongst the top 3, and I just named 3, so they're in pretty, down here is not really much. Up there at the Acropolis is pretty impressive that it's still standing, and the view is really good up there, but as far as like the layout, there's no plaques, there's no explanation. So I mean, I think Luxor and Abu Simbel win, even Cairo in that aspect. But it is really nice to get up there. It's a must do. You can't come to Greece and not go to the Acropolis. Get the day pass and you can go and see some other things as well. And that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna try to cool off and see what's next on this hop on, hop off bus tour. Oh, you smell all that leather?
Olha, aqui tem pelos.
Alright, we're trying to find Hadrian's Library, but first we gotta pass through one of Athens' flea markets here. It should be fun.
Hard Rock Cafe is also over here on the corner.
Oh boy, we might just be getting lunch. Some of the fruit smells good. Okay, so we made it to stop number 4. 5, who knows at this point, I'm probably delirious from the heat. But this is Hadrian's Library, and it's from 132 AD. Just a bunch of ruins, of course, but it wasn't actually a library back in the day like we know with books and all. This was a meeting place where all the masterminds came to philosophize and poetize. So we're gonna walk around here for a minute, see what it's like, and then I think we're gonna have to go to Hard Rock and hit some air conditioning and get some snacks. You know us, we likes to eat. So we stopped at a Hard Rock real quick to get some appetizers, and we realized that the last time we were at a Hard Rock was when we were on a hop on, hop off bus tour in Rome 5 years ago. So I guess they got a little continuity going here. Here comes the music, copyright strike. We stopped off at Hard Rock. We had some appetizers and some iced teas and some water, and now we're refueled and ready to go. And that's funny, we didn't realize that last time we were in a Hard Rock was 5 years ago. Last time we were on a hop on, hop off bus tour, so that was interesting. And now we're off to where? The museum now, I think? We're gonna
Check out, yeah, the museum.
try to find the museum, the Acropolis Museum now.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Cheers.
Take care now. Alright guys, so we just got off the bus there. Probably our last bus ride for the day. We'll tell you more about that in a little quieter area, but right now we're going to see the one main attraction I've been waiting for this whole time. This means more to me than even the Acropolis did, so let's boogie across this highway here.
English, French.
English. Gracias. I got the gold.
Nice. Can you zoom in on it? This will not be suitable for
You will
anybody.
not be holding it either because you put it in with the Euros in. There it is. The Olympics, everybody. I love it. Upstairs is a museum. I guess that's where the gladiators and all used to do their thing. And then as you come down this here ramp in this tunnel, you enter the stadium, and I can't wait. I cannot believe I am out here walking around on this. This is amazing. If it wasn't so damn hot right now, I would do a lap just to say I did it here, but I'd probably die, it's so hot. Otherwise, this is just like an Olympic fan's playground from heaven. This is incredible. I've been running around taking pictures on the podiums. So let me try to give you a little history here. This was built back in the Hadrian era when he was the ruler, and it is the largest marble stadium in the world. This whole thing is all built of marble. It's incredible. The first modern Olympics were held here. This is where they played the hymn for the first time, and yeah, you can see people over here posing. Everybody's posing on the stands over there. This is just amazing. I love this here.
They also have they hold the Guinness World Record for a basketball game, the most fans in a basketball game, and it was in 1969.
It is still used for events these days, rarely, but sometimes. It holds 68,000 people, which, I mean, if you know anything about stadiums, that's bigger than just about anything in the U.S. I think maybe Dallas has one close to that, but, you know, this is like 3 Yankee stadiums here. You couldn't tell by looking at it, but yeah, it is. It's amazing. This is incredible. I love this. Out of everything in Athens that I've seen so far, you can keep the Acropolis, you can keep the Pantheon, and all that stuff. All the Olympic stuff that I've seen is just, I'm in heaven. I love this. So we opted not to get back on the bus. We're gonna walk the 1.5 miles back to the hotel now from the stadium. Only because, you know, if everything on this tour, on the Red Line tour, was very close in the city. You could walk from one to the other. Basically, if you have any strength at all whatsoever, you could do it on your own. It wasn't far. I wouldn't attempt it in this kind of heat, but sad part was the bus was actually hotter than being out here. There's no air movement on the bus, there's no AC really. It was very hot, stuffy. So for us, it paid just to walk. Tomorrow though, we're getting on the Blue Line, which goes outside the city center, down to the marina and the beaches. So for that one, when you're traveling that kind of distance, I guess we'll get our money's worth. But today, several times we found ourselves like leaving the Acropolis. We didn't take a bus to the Agora, it was right there, we just walked. So I think we skipped like 5 of the stops just walking from one place to the other just to see everything. Like I said, if you're on the bus, as you're passing by, you got the audio tour and they explain it to you. But if you're on foot, you can walk by and read it and learn about it. So I guess it depends on your fitness level. But everything in the city, I don't think it was worth the hop on, hop off tour.
Actually, this is where we started, right here.
Yep. So yeah, we took the bus from here to the stadium, and the long way around in traffic took about a half hour. We just walked back in 10 minutes. So I mean, and there's a little bit of a breeze now, whereas on the bus we were dying, it was so hot. So I guess my advice is, if you're just gonna do the city center line, you don't need to pay the money for the hop on, hop off. It's not worth it. But if you're gonna leave the town, well, we're taking that line tomorrow, and we paid for it already, so we have to. But we'll let you know tomorrow how that one works out. As far as today goes, we're gonna wrap this video up here, go find another cold drink, and then head back to the room and relax for the rest of the night. It's been a long day out here in the sun. Yeah. I'm probably burnt. Do I look like a burnt match yet?
Not yet.
Oh, it's gonna come soon.
Tomorrow, we'll be on the beach.
Good morning, guys. It is day 2 of our hop on, hop off bus tour. We just hopped off the bus and we are now looking for the Green Line bus, which is supposed to take us down to the beach and marina area. Yesterday, if you remember, we did the whole Athens area with all the historical sites and that. And we had enough, so today we're heading down to the marina and the beach. If we can find the Green Line. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go walk through this market and see if we can find it.
So we got off, I think, like a couple stops before, and we're gonna wander all the way through the flea market because it takes you back to the terminal, the bus terminal, and you have to sit there for 10 minutes and wait for the bus driver to, I don't know, let the bus cool down or something. So
Have his little cigarette break. You know, we're in Europe, they gotta have cigarette breaks every couple minutes. Not to mention the bus just moves a lot slower in traffic than we do on foot.
it's hot up there.
Yeah.
So walking down this little alleyway with the flea markets, it's cooler actually. You get all the hits from the AC from them.
The bus is 2-story and the downstairs area is closed in and there's no real air ventilation or nothing, so it gets hot. And if you go upstairs, there's a breeze, but you're in the blazing sun. So either way, it's not comfortable.
Plus, we're gonna be sitting on the beach, so we'll get our steps in now.
Alright guys, check it out. We got off our bus and our Athens luck is continuing. No sooner did we hit the beach than the clouds have rolled in. It has just been the way things have been going for us here in Athens. So, that's not going to stop us though. We're going to head on down to the water and see what the beach is like. And I don't know, I don't even know if I could, every time I bring the drone, this happens. So maybe we'll fly the drone. If not, you know us, we're gonna get something to eat. When all else fails, eat. We found cats. She wants to go check out the cats. Yeah, they're looking pretty shady.
The ones in Turkey were a lot friendlier and not as skittish.
Yeah, they're really afraid. They all took off basically. There's a bunch more over here, over here, over here. If you guys could smell what we're smelling.
It's a litter box. Wet cat litter box.
Yeah. So much potential though. So the Green Line bus that took us down here was much nicer than the Red Line buses we were doing in town yesterday. It was air conditioned, the upper level had a roof on it. It was much more comfortable and nowhere near as crowded, obviously. Apparently not as many people come down here. Some do if they're catching a cruise. You can take that bus and it'll take you down to where the cruise ships leave. And other than that, there was just one stop was at Athens' most expensive hotel, and the next stop was the marina where the cruise ships were. The third stop was this wonderful beach we're at now, and the next stop was a museum. Yeah, small museum. That was the last stop on the line. There is another line that goes further down the coast. Maybe we should have just picked that one instead, but it is what it is, and here we are.
Well, this looks a little more doable, huh?
A little bit. All right, guys, you can see behind me the clouds are rolling in. We walked about a half hour down the beach, and conditions didn't really get any better. So we came up here by the marina. We were gonna fly the drone over these cruise ships and all, but we got it up and it was attacked by seagulls, which is quite ridiculous. So we decided we're just not gonna push our luck anymore. We are gonna grab something to eat, head back, check out our new hotel room, and get some work done. All right, so we are now waiting for our bus to take us back to City Center. We figured we'd give you guys a little review time. As far as the hop on, hop off bus goes, we did it in Rome and we loved it because everything in Rome was a little more spread out. It was the peak tourist season, so it was real crowded and hot, and it made it easier for us to get around there and see all the sights. And there seemed to be more sights just spread out throughout the whole city there. Here, however, in Athens, everything's centrally located around the Acropolis. If you can walk a mile, then you can pretty much cover everything. And as you guys know, we're walkers, so for us, we probably would have did much better on our own. The buses were hot, they were stuffy, they were stuck in traffic all the time, so I think we were better off if we'd have walked instead of taking the tour. Just for us. I mean, if you're not in good shape and you can't do any walking, then maybe the buses would be good for you. As far as this line taken down to the beach, this was a complete tourist trap. I mean, I don't even know why anybody would consider this unless you needed a ride down to the, you know, your cruise ship or something. Yeah. Other than that, these beaches were not spectacular. The first night or two we were here, we stayed about a mile or two up the coast here, and those beaches were nicer than here. So why they're sending you down here on a tour bus is just beyond us. We can't figure that one out.
But they have that other line that you can take
that
takes you down to the coastline there.
Yeah, there is that other line. We might have should have taken that one, but you know, that's another, it was an extra charge on top of this one. So anyway, as far as the hop on, hop off bus goes, we don't recommend it here in Athens. Just gonna tell it like it is. Just not worth it to us anyway.
Yeah, not for us.
But if you're interested, give them a try. Tell them we sent you. It won't mean shit, but you can get a good laugh out of it. All right, that wrap up the hop off bus.
Yeah, I think that concludes our hop on, hop off tour.
All right. Am I recording? All right, so when we walk up to the bus stop, we figured we'd give you our review of Athens before we shut off the camera for now. We've been here for a week. We've tried 4 different neighborhoods actually, and I gotta tell you, for both our point of views, Athens is getting a big. We've been to a lot of cities, and we know not every city is gonna be paradise. We know that's not realistic, but Athens is just, I don't know. It's just in its own class here. It's dirty. There's graffiti. There's heroin addicts everywhere. Homeless people everywhere. It's just terrible. Yeah. We see people shooting up every few feet. The cops don't care. They do it in front of churches. They do it in front of children, and you know, they pass out right there. It's horrible. It's just, if you stay in the real close to the tourist trail, right around the Acropolis in the center there of Athens, you'll be okay. Once you step 1 block away from the tourist trail, it's just everywhere. Yeah. The beaches are mediocre at best. I mean, we've come down the Baltic coast there, and every country we've been to has better beaches than this, from Montenegro, Croatia, Albania. I don't see the hype over Athens at all. I mean, don't get us wrong now. We love Greece, all, you know, Mount Olympus, Delphi, Meteora, and hopefully the islands. We've had a great time, met some great people, but Athens itself has just been one big bust, and we gave it 7 nights. I mean, that's plenty of time to get a feel for it. All different neighborhoods, so I don't know what to say.
I would like to add that the first place that we stayed at, that area, it was actually a really nice area, but the rooms in that area were $200 to $400 a night.
And booked up. Couldn't even get them if we wanted.
It was the Glafida district, I think, by Uvula Beach or something like that, which is just further down the coast here. This beach isn't as nice as that one was. So
overall, I don't know. Athens is not going to win our love, not going to win our hearts. We've tried. Yeah, we really gave it a try to like this place, but I don't think this will be on our comeback list, that's for sure. Not when there's so many other beautiful cities nearby. However, our next stop from here, we're gonna take the next night or two off and just shut the camera off and go get some work done before we leave. Because in 2 days we are heading down to Mykonos, so hopefully we'll get a better feel once we get down there like we had up north. We love Meteora and all those places, so hopefully Mykonos and Santorini will win our hearts back. Redeem Greece.
Yeah, I feel like I need to go to the room and just shut off for a couple days and let all this just be a distant memory in the background so I can start fresh in Mykonos.
No doubt.
I'm ready.
So, hope you guys liked this, even though it wasn't the most positive video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys someplace else.
Sorry.